Okay, before you, we have that item of a certain mock paper for a certain school, okay? And every one of us, I want to give us 5 minutes, read through it, and I'll give us the task. First, read the scenario and understand it. So, the other thing I want is the way to see that you cannot now at this point right among that is our mistake. If anyone can see that at the moment you start being heard, we want to see it. Who are we? Proscovia, make sure you deal with those that are writing on our screen. Please don't write anything on the screen, dear students.
Okay, madam.
Actually, in that speech, everything she just said was the evidence that it will not be now.
Are we done reading?
For how much of what is that Bible? Really, what you are emphasizing. Therefore, now, we have evidence for other people. Now, you say, they are straight. First of all, some of those people, if up now still have but two, you said you formed them with their hands. That had to go that she was in that man up to now, he is well, is athletic, and he's has too much money. His money finance NRA. It is not cadavers have grown through NRA. So when you think you are no longer useful, you step aside. The other people, before we leave there as athletes.
Madam, in the chat, they are saying that you move up.
Oh, okay.
You mean you were a speaker because of the and you prove that the day you walk up and say, now we want another speech. And she said, I was going, I'm very hard. It disappears anything that doesn't recognize loyalty. You were asking what loyalty. They told you don't stand for speech. And you're against story. You say, no, I have no. Actually, you're saying,
okay. I guess we are done reading. Proscovia, is that so?
Yeah, I think they are done, but some are saying that they are not hearing you. Yet me, I'm hearing you.
Okay, let me try to project my voice. I don't know if that one is better. So we have this question before us, and every one of us has read the scenario and what it is all about. When you look at it in terms, you can say it is to do with rural-urban migration, and rural-urban migration or rural-urban drift comes in when we are talking about population and urbanization, specifically urbanization. So before that, we've been given a table, and that table is giving us the population of those two cities, the capital city of Uganda and the capital city of Kenya, okay? We have 6 years, starting from the current or the one that is yet to come to 1980, okay? And now, when we look at the task, the first one that asking us, determine the percentage increase in population concentration in each of the two cities between 2000 and 2020. Who can tell us what is it that we are supposed to do? How would you approach that question? Yes, Godfrey. Godfrey, yes, go ahead. Yes.
We were told that get the year one. Sorry, what the last year?
You're breaking. Please start afresh.
We were told that you get year the last year, and it is regarded as year two.
Yeah, what?
Year one, the first year they've given you. Then you divide by the year. Is it year one?
Year one.
Is it okay?
So in this case, we have 1980 and 2020. So which one is your year one?
Year one is 1980. And year two is 20. Is it 20 what?
2020.
Yes, 2020. That's year two is 2020. Then year one is 1980.
I beg your pardon. Year one should be 2000. Okay.
Is it 2000?
They said between 2000 and 2020.
Oh. If it is 2000, year one is gonna be 2000 then to 2020. That is year two.
Okay.
Then we get year two minus year one. Divided by the year one.
Year two minus year one over.
Divided by year one. Year one.
Year one.
Yeah. I don't know if we multiply by the 100 to get the percentage.
Yes, because when they ask for percentage increase, to determine the percentage increase, they want your figures to be in percentage. So you go ahead and multiply by
100. Madam, they also say that it don't matter. It doesn't matter to get the percentage that is greater than 100.
It is okay.
It is okay, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So dear class, when you look at this and our task A Roman 1, we are supposed to determine the percentage increase of the population in those two cities. So that means you're going to get the percentage increase of Kampala and you also get the percentage increase of Nairobi. For the 2 years that have been given, you get the figures for the 2 years that have been given. So in this case, we are saying 2000 for Kampala city, 2000 has a population of 1,686,000 people, okay? And then that is for 2020. Then 2000, it is 1,233,000 people, okay? So you get those two figures and substitute, but we said get the figure for 2020 minus the figure for 2000. Whatever you get, divide it by the figure of 2000 times 100 to get the actual figure, okay? Allow me to share this. I hope you have recorded these figures, but I'll bring this back, don't worry, okay? Are you seeing my new screen?
Madam,
Yes.
some students in the chat, they are asking for your pardon. Maybe at the start.
Okay. Let me repeat. We are saying when they ask you to determine the percentage increase, it is like asking you to find the percentage change. Okay? The percentage change, you look at the new 2 years that have been given to you. Sometimes they give you a table that has the so many years, about 6 years of one city, for example, and they ask you to find the percentage change. If you have not been given the 2 years to consider, then that means you have to find the percentage change for all the different years. But in this case, ours was very specific. They said we find the percentage increase of the population of the 2 cities. And among the years that were given us in the table, they picked on 2000 and 2020. So what you do, for example, Kampala, as you look at my screen, I've shared that the calculations with you, that you get the current year minus the old year. When you look at 2020 and 2000, you find that 2020 is the current year. 2000 is the old year. Divide by the old year times 100. So you substitute and put the figures. Kindly, dear candidates, substitute and put the figures. Don't put the years. As you're seeing on the screen, I hope it is very clear. Proscovia, is it very clear?
It is clear, but I think you can zoom a bit.
I'm trying to. How is that? Because that is on 100%.
It's okay.
It's okay, madam.
Okay.
Can be seen.
So are we all seeing those calculations?
Yeah.
And when you look at the Nairobi city, actually our answer is more than 100%. So it's okay when you do your calculations and you get more than 100%, don't get worried that maybe you made a mistake somewhere. It's very okay to have that figure that is more than 100%. Okay? Do you have anyone with a question of how to find the percentage change or percentage increase? Godfrey, do you have a question? Godfrey?
How do you consider things? In most cases, different answers, the way we calculate them.
I'm struggling to hear what you're saying, Godfrey. Be loud enough.
What's the logic flow? As in, what are we starting with and ending with? Because in most cases, when you put in those values in our calculators, we get different values.
How come? What do you start with is, we have said that you start with the figure of the current year among those that have been given.
Yeah, I understand, but remember earlier when we were calculating in class, if you put in these values before subtracting, you take in the whole information as it is and put it in the calculator. You get a different answer, which is different from someone who just did what? Subtracted and got into step by step.
I would advise you to go step by step. Subtract first, you divide and then after dividing, you multiply by 100.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then the other thing, before I get to the next person, you also need to know when they ask for percentage change, if it is percentage change, this time it was percentage increase, but sometimes it can be percentage change. It is very possible for you to get a negative figure, okay? Don't force it to be positive. It can be a negative figure, but if it is percentage increase, like in this case, it has to be positive. When you get a negative, then you find out. Timo.
For me, I'm talking to Godfrey about his thing of putting everything in the calculator. This solution, when he enters in the current year minus the old year, he should make sure brackets. And every time he enters new values, he puts them in brackets so that the calculator can understand that they're separate calculations.
Godfrey, did you also pick that one?
Yeah, it's
he's talking to us. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's applicable. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Tracy, you have something to say?
Yes, teacher. Teacher, inquiring that they say that percentage increase between 2000 and 2020. So when do you apply this thing of your first calculate between 2000 and 2010, then 2010 and 2020, or that's a different scenario? Like, why didn't we consider the 2010 that is between 2000 and 2020?
So when they ask you, determine the percentage increase of the population of the two cities between or from 2000, for example, from 1980 to 2020. Did you hear my statement? From 1980 to 2020. That is when you are going to get the one of 1990 and the following year, you get its percentage increase. You move to the next one till you get to the last year, okay? But this one, they're saying 2000 and, so they're only looking at those 2 years.
Those years, oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me give the last, the very last person is Nyanzi.
Thanks a lot, madam. I don't know what I'm asking. What I'm going to ask is related to what my colleague has asked, but I was thinking that we can get, for example, the total. That we can get, for example, the total. Something I took here. Okay, I was thinking that we could get the total. The total size between 1980, we add those values from 1980 to 2006. I mean, 2026. Then
please go on. Your network. Nyanza, I'm afraid your network is unstable. People, is it me or it's Nyanza?
It's Nyanza. Now we consider what's given to us.
Nyanza, your network is not so stable.
2000. Hello?
Sorry, my dear students. I need to put my laptop in power, but I'm back. Nyanzi, are you now stable with your network? Nyanzi?
Yes, please, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, can you
Yes,
hear me now?
Better, that's better.
I was thinking that maybe we can get the total number of from the smallest year, that is 1980 to 2026. After getting that total, we can now get maybe 2,000. We can now get the value of, for example, 2,000. That is 1,233,000. Divide by that total times 100. We get that percentage. We also go to the one of 2020. So we get now the one of 2020 is 1,686,000. We divide it by the total. We multiply it by 100. So when we get those percentages, we add them. We get the total percentage for now, for example, for Kampala. For Kampala, we get the total percentage of the 2020 plus the 2,000. Then after we also calculate
for Nairobi.
We also do the same for Nairobi. We get the total percentage. Then after we can subtract maybe Kampala from Nairobi or Nairobi from Kampala. I don't know.
Nyanzi. That method might not work for this because there's no way you're going to find the total population, okay? You only look at the 2 years that have been given, and the two cities are separate. You do the one for Kampala separate from the one for Nairobi, okay? But given that in the table we had the 6 years, and here they have picked on 2. And I said, if they had said 2000 to 2020, you'd even consider 2010. But they said 2000 and 2020. Okay? So that is why we're using this method that is going to be very easy for you, and it would give you the answer very fast, okay? Because the fact is, this one is, they're giving us only 2 marks. So if you go around and, you might even end up messing it up when you try to add, okay? So I would advise that you pick on this method, and it's the one that you use just in case it comes in our final exams. Yes.
You said how would we go about it if we're given maybe scope maybe between 1980 to 2020? Would we add?
If it was 1980, then you have 90, you have 2000, you have 2010, and then 2020. If that was the case and they had used the word 2, that means you'd have to have, for example, Kampala only, you do 1990 minus 1980 over 1980 times 100. You do again for 2000 minus the one of 1990 in that case, yeah? You do for every 2 years, till you get to the last one. So there you'd come up with 4 different answers. But again, you also don't add them, leave them when they are independent. Is that clear?
It is clear.
Right, thank you. Margaret, you have a question? Go ahead. Margaret? Yes, definitely.
Madam was asking that if you elaborate more about percentage change, and even what if we are given to find the percentage difference?
The percentage change is the same as population increase, but the only thing I said, You do the same method, you use the same method. There are times when they're going to give you information, yeah? When, for example, the current year has a smaller figure than the old year, you don't change it, okay? You use it the way it is. So in that case, you're going to get a figure that is negative, and you know there is always rise and fall, rise and fall. So we can also see that under percentage change, okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to our first sharing that we had. This one, where we have our table. And Roman 2, we can all read Roman 2, which is saying represent the information provided in the table using a suitable statistical diagram. They have not stated which diagram you are going to draw. But for you, when you look at the table, you must decide on which diagram you're going to draw. Is that clear? And looking at our table, who is going to help us to tell us which diagram we are going to draw? Which kind of graph are we going to draw? Timo?
We can do a comparative bar graph or a comparative line graph.
Okay, we're going to draw a comparative bar graph or a comparative line graph. Timo, before you go off, when you talk about a comparative bar graph, and with me in this table, we have 2026 that is projected. How are those bars going to look like?
Are going to be okay. Like for the projected year, it's kind of like an extension. So that means when you're making our scale, it should be like it should also suit a projection that can make the years appear realistic.
To appear realistic, yes, it would be 2026. But how am I going to differentiate the bars for the other years from that one of 2026? Because 2026 is projected, we are not yet in that year, but they're estimating that in 2026, the population of Kampala and Nairobi would be at that.
Well, I can be, if I'm to shade my graph, I would give it a different shade.
You give it a different shading?
Yes.
Okay. That is Timo. Joash? Let's hear from someone else. Joash, what do you have to say?
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
I think, madam, having a projected year restricts us to drawing only a line graph.
Thank you. People, did we all hear that? Because of the projected year, you are supposed to draw a comparative line graph. We are drawing a comparative line graph because we have those two cities. If we bring in the bar graph, remember in the task they're saying a suitable statistical diagram. When you look at it at first, you might look at a line graph, you might look at a bar graph. But when you put it in mind that we have that projected year, and we all know how the line appears if it is a projected year, then that takes us to the comparative line graph. Okay, Rachel, you seem to have a question. Rachel?
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I thought if they have not given you the graph you are supposed to draw, you draw any graph you feel like.
Not really. Rachel?
Yes?
This is not the actual thing. Sometimes
Yes.
Depending on the table they have given you. The table determines which kind of graph you are going to draw. For example, here, you have 2 cities, okay?
Yes.
Then I would look at a bar graph, I would look at a line graph.
Yes.
However, now what is restricting you is the projected year. Because remember, when you're drawing a simple line graph, when you have a projected year, that last part of the projected is going to be a dotted line.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, another question, madam. Like when they have asked you a number that like A, you first calculate for Kampala, then you calculate for Nairobi, or you calculate all of them at once?
No, you first do the one for Kampala and then do the one for Nairobi. So I would expect to have 2 answers under that one.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay, so we are saying, and someone is saying here, because of the projected year, it takes us to drawing a comparative line graph, okay? Grivan, yes, you have the floor. I can't hear. Giovanni. You seem to be very far from the microphone. We can't hear you. Please go on.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Madam, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
From my understanding, like to have an example of a comparative line graph.
Yes, I'm going to give it to you, don't worry.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Maybe this is the last one and then we move on. Daisy.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
I'm trying to understand how you said if the table is projected with a comparative line graph, right? So what if our table wasn't like projected? It would be like something else, like
if the table didn't have that, if the table didn't have that projected year, okay, and it was sitting on 2020, and they ask you to draw a suitable diagram, someone who would draw a comparative line bar graph would be okay. Someone who would draw, what else am I drawing? Someone who would draw a comparative, and even someone who is drawing comparative circles will also be okay.
Oh, so I want to understand that if it has the word projected, it's a comparative line graph.
Yeah. Please choose to draw either the simple line graph or the comparative line graph. In this case, because of our 2 cities, we cannot draw a simple line graph. Both lines must appear on the same graph. Then it becomes a comparative line graph. Okay?
Thank you, madam. Yes.
So dear students, I want to say, if you have a year that is projected and they ask you to draw a suitable diagram, I beg that you draw a comparative line graph and want to see how it looks like. Okay? I hope we're able to see that graph. It's a bit dark. I don't know if you can try to make it lighter on your side.
Madam, we are not able to see the words
The
on
lines,
it.
yeah? Now there, what do I do? Because it seems to be dark. I don't know how we can put some light in it. Please don't draw, Emmanuel. Please don't. Okay. This one now has come out to be a bit light. Try to zoom in and see. Oh, it's me to do the zooming in.
Yes, it's you to do the zooming in too.
My zooming in is already at what? At 100%. Sorry. But maybe just to, please follow my cursor. The cursor, okay? We have this first line, okay? We have this first line. First of all, if you're drawing a comparative line graph, one thing you must know is that you're going to have 2 or more lines on the same graph paper. In this case, because we had our 2 cities, you're going to have a line for Kampala and you're going to have a line for Nairobi, drawing them on the same axis that you have drawn. So in this case, I have this one as my first line, and then I also have this one as my other line, okay? So here we have 2 lines on the same graph. But when you're drawing these lines, because there are 2, you're going to differentiate them using color, okay? You get 2 different colors. Even if you used your pen, have a black pen and have a blue pen to have the 2 different colors. And you draw for us the key down here. I had a key, okay? Somewhere here showing that this one represents Kampala, this one represents Nairobi, okay? You're going to draw 2 lines, but of different colors. One for Kampala, one for Nairobi. However, from the year 2020 to where the 2026 is, that part is going to be dotted, okay? Not a full line, but it's a broken line that is dotted to show you that this is for projection, that this year is projected from 2020 to 2026. I'm very sorry that diagram is not very clear. And right now I cannot say I look for it and give it to you. It came out like this.
Madam, there is a student who is asking, how do you get scale?
How do we get the scale? That one is very, very important, okay? How do we determine the scale? I want someone to first give us an idea. How do we determine the scale? There's Esther. I hope Esther has gone down. Maria, are you in to tell us how we determine the scale?
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, Maria.
The highest value that you're having, maybe for, let me say 22, the highest value you have in the table minus the lowest value, divided by the number of scales that the number of spaces that you're having on the graph. Yes, that's
okay. Maria is saying we get the highest value, we subtract it from the lowest value, and we divide by the number of centimeters we have on the graph. That is according to Maria.
Madam,
yes?
The noise in the background is too much. Yes.
Peter, Okay, they have reduced the noise, sorry.
Okay.
So I'm saying that how do we get to the scale, okay? And Esther here is telling us, it was Maria, not Esther, that when you're finding the scale, get the highest point minus the lowest point, then you divide by the so many centimeters that you're going to use, okay? That is Maria, according to Maria. Annabelle, what do you have to say?
Yes, madam, thank you. What I have to say is that, like how to get the scale, we get the highest value, and then we round it off to the next number. Then after we divide by 20.
Okay.
The
Where
20 is got,
the 20 from?
The 20. In geography, we are supposed to use 3/4 of the graph. So a graph has 27 centimeters. So we say 3/4 times 27, where we get 20.25. But then we leave out the points and then we just take the 20. So we divide the number that you have rounded off to by 20, and then what we get is the scale.
Okay. Dear students, looking at the two submissions that we have had, I know many of us, internet connection is on. I know many of us have our views and our suggestions, but with interest of time, allow me to summarize this. How do we come up with a scale? When you're given a table, I want us to look at the graph paper that you're having. Someone is saying it has, someone is communicating. Who is that? Erica, what are you saying? Wasn't Erica? I don't know. Proscovia, make sure everyone is muted, okay?
Yes, madam. Let me see.
So I'm saying, first of all, you have your graph paper. Annabelle has just told us that the graph paper has 27 centimeters. Those tiny 5 boxes make up a centimeter, okay? When you count them, you have 27. But because you need space for the title, you need space for labeling below, then try to use only 20, okay? So what you do, get your highest value. When you get the highest value, divide it by 20. The figure you're going to get, sometimes you would get, for example, I can get 500, I'm just imagining, okay? 528 as my figure, okay? So when I get 528, we are saying, if you use 528, it's going to give you hard time. Round off that figure. Instead of using 528, use 500 because it is a rounded off number, okay? You don't have to subtract the highest from the lowest. Why? Because remember we said our graph must start from the scale of 0. Vertical axis starts from the scale of 0, figure 0. And then with that, dear candidates, use 1 centimeter. Don't be tempted to use 2 centimeters. Use 1 centimeter, okay? So when you get the highest figure, divide it by the number of centimeters. By the way, sometimes I would want to use only 15 centimeters. So if I want to use only 15 centimeters, then I'll divide by 15. If you divide by 20, that means by the time you get to the 20th centimeter, you have been able to accommodate the highest figure. You already have the lowest figure because when I start from 0, my lowest figure would be somewhere by the time I get to the highest figure. I don't know if that one is helping us. I'm seeing hands up. Chiza Apollo. I'll give only chance to 2 people.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, louder please.
Okay, my question was on the graph. Here on the projection, I see that under the one of Nairobi, it is down up. Yes, madam. And I'm seeing that we are having the line which is going to this one and the one going up. And I'm
No. When you see the one that is below, I
Yes.
did with a pen to rub it because I joined another point of actually the other town.
Okay.
I saw it and I tried to rub it with a pen. That is why for it you even see that it's not dotted, yeah?
Thanks, madam.
Okay, Kari, thank you. Hyper, your hand has been up. Is it Hyper?
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Madam, how supposed to put the dots? Are they necessary?
Which dots?
I see some dots.
Oh, that is what we have talked about. When you're drawing the line for projection, it should be dotted. It should not be a complete line like the other years, because those years we have been there, we have seen and we know. But the one of 2026, they're just projecting that during this time, the population might be this. It is not exact that it would be like that, eh? It can even be slightly more or slightly below. So it's a projection, and therefore, if you have a projected year, that line should not be complete like the others, okay? You use a dotted line for only that section, okay? Who else has a question? Esther, you are back, you are disappeared. Yes, Esther?
To ask about you talked about how something is specific that you need to do a line graph, like in this case where there's projected. So is there any case where it's a must for us to do a pie chart or a bar graph?
The must part of it would come in when they have specifically in the question said, draw a simple bar graph. That would be a simple bar graph. Or draw a pie chart, okay? And then you have to understand these words. A graph can be a chart, but a chart cannot be a graph, okay? Sometimes in the diagram, they're saying, draw a suitable chart, draw a suitable graph. So if I said draw a suitable graph, dear candidates, you're not supposed to draw a pie chart, because it was clear that we draw a suitable graph, okay? When I said draw a suitable chart, I would run away straight away to the pie chart, okay? But even if I draw a graph, it would be okay. So where they have not stated, sometimes the options might be one or two. Who is this one on my screen? That option might be one or two, or even three, okay? But in this case, this question that we are looking at, we have seen that why are we saying comparative line is the best? Because of the projected year, okay? Now, I also want to make this one, though not very common, but if you have made a mistake, you'd go with it. If you decided to draw a comparative bar graph, okay? When you are drawing the bars, remember we have, let me hope this one would show us what I want. Are you seeing that graph? The one that I've just, the one that is
Yes,
on the
madam.
screen right now. It is a bar graph, okay? You see how the bars are complete. This one is a compound graph, compound bar graph, okay? But you can see that the bars are complete. So if it was projected, and this is, for example, 2026, this line would not be as straight and complete as this, but I would make it dotted throughout for the entire bar, okay? I make it dotted. to show that this is projected, okay? But today we've agreed that if they've given us a projected year, we go back and we draw the one that, not this one, this other one. The best option would be for us to draw the line graph, but with a projected one. I hope we all know how to draw a comparative graph, line and bar graph. Anyone who doesn't know? People are putting up your hands. Can you first put them down so that I know those who cannot draw a certain graph? When you leave your hand up, it means you have a question.
Madam, in the chat there is Mukwas Milton.
Mukwas is saying what?
There is Mafam who don't know how to draw. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, with my little technology that I use, yeah. This one, I think it's this one. For those who are saying they cannot draw, for example, this one here, what we are having before us is a comparative bar graph, where you make groups. Actually, the other name for comparative bar graph is a grouped bar graph, where we combine the bars, but the shadings are different. If, for example, you look at my first group, I have 2 items there, okay? I have, this one was representing, I can't see properly, but the key is below here, okay? That the ones for X's represents a certain item and the ones for the lines represents for a certain item. But you make different groups, and in between the groups, there has to be space to separate the groups. Otherwise, if you don't put the spacing, then you have only one group. The way you draw your normal simple line graph, but here you're combining two because you have 2 items to formulate these so many groups that you can see on this graph, okay? And your title should always be a comparative line graph. Don't say a graph. Specify and give the name of the graph, okay? You specify and give the name of the graph, a comparative bar graph or a comparative line graph showing phone usage, mobile phone usage in an internet in a certain area, okay? Or whatever is in the table. The title, a complete title would give us the first CK, as you can see. Then here, the vertical axis should be consistent from 0, depending on which scale you are using, but it should be consistent throughout. And then you also label, okay? You also label. When you look at this graph, it was to do with mobile phone and internet usage among in the different areas, but they said that things were in millions, okay? This one you're seeing 233 up to the end, it is representing millions, okay? If I use my 1, 2, 3, 4 as my scale, and then I put millions, it is okay. If I write 1 million, 1 and then the 6 zeros, that is 1 million. 2, I put the 6 zeros, 2 millions. Then I don't have to label and say these are millions. I'll just say internet usage full stop. If you put the zeros on these figures and then you also say in millions, then your figures have gone to trillion. You would have changed the scale. So be very careful. Sometimes they give us tables and they say that things are in thousands. You don't have to put the zeros, just say in thousands, full stop. Someone will understand, okay? Erica, you have a question. Erica, I've given you permission.
Yes, I was seeing two kinds of bar graphs, like compared to types of.
Here,
Yes, in the previous one for item 5.
Okay, this one here, I'm going to get to that one. Are you seeing this one? This one is known
yes.
as a comparative bar graph, where you're forming two bars, or 3, or whichever, but you're formulating groups, okay? And if in between each group, we said you leave space so that you separate the groups, and that space should be equal throughout up to the end, okay? Then we'll have this other one that you're also talking about. This one here, okay? This one is a compound bar graph where you draw one long bar and subdivide it into sections, okay? I have where I use the shading of 0, 0, then Z, and then this other one is what? There should be, are they 2? Actually, there are 2, okay? 0 and the Z, 0 and the Z, okay? This one is a compound bar graph. Sometimes it is also referred to as a cumulative bar graph. I hope we have learned about that one.
Okay, yes, teacher. But how do you know, like, how do you plot the scale for the second?
This one here.
Yes.
How do you plot the scale? When you go back to, I'll show you this table, okay? But you add and find the total. The totals are the ones that are going to give you, for every year you add and find the total, okay? The totals are the ones that are going to help you to find the scale, because the highest total, for example, for 2025, would be the one to help us find the scale, where I get its figure and I divide by the number of centimeters that I'm having along this axis, okay?
Yes, you had internet usage and mobile phone usage. Okay, sure.
Okay. People who are putting up Papa.
It's me, teacher. Here in the chat, people are asking, they should use a pencil or a pen when drawing graphs.
When you're drawing, please use a pencil. I used a pen because I wanted us to clearly see the graph, okay? But you use a pencil. But you remember, for the words must be in pen, the figures, for example, your vertical scale and how you label the scales, those ones should be in pen. But drawing the bars, drawing the line, please use a pencil. But this other one, the first graph that we looked at for the comparative line, this one where I'm going to have 3 or 2 lines on the same graph, I cannot use a pencil. If I use a pencil, I'm going to put a pattern to differentiate the two. I can keep on adding 0 in between, 0 in between, 0 in between, okay? If not, I'm saying you get a black pen and have a blue pen and use that one. Those are like colors, yeah? Okay. Papa, yes, you have the floor.
Madam, then when we go to the line graph, I was still like, are we supposed to write on that? You see, like this is like, because title was like, we write the countries.
The countries or the cities?
The cities, okay.
I can choose to write on the line itself, and I say this line is for Kampala, this one is for Nairobi, or you draw a key like I did. I drew a key and I'm saying this line is for Nairobi, this one is for Kampala. But I would advise that use a key.
All right, thank you, madam.
Okay.
Madam.
Yes?
There is another one. While drawing a pie chart, should we draw on a graph paper or an answer sheet paper?
For the pie chart, actually, even if you draw in your answer booklet, okay, because they're going to give you booklets, the UNE booklets. You draw in your UNE booklet. You don't have to use a graph paper. No one is going to penalize you if you use a graph paper. But for the graph strictly, use a graph paper, but pie chart, you can draw in your answer sheet without asking for graph paper. But even if you asked for it and you used it, it's well. Esther, your hand is still up.
After you're done with this graphs, may you please look at population pyramid? And
Population.
also, when do we use compound or cumulative background?
That cumulative one, again, if they have not specified for me and they're saying I draw a suitable diagram, I can still use what? For this same question, for this very question that we have looked at, you'd find that you're going to use comparative, either line or bar, okay? But there are certain questions that they would give you that are not to do with population, and you can actually draw a compound. For example, trade, if you're talking about trade items, this other one that we have just looked at, they were talking about mobile phone usage, okay? And that one I can use a compound one. But if you're drawing a compound bar graph, please don't forget to draw a cumulative table. Okay?
What is a cumulative table?
How can I explain? When first of all in the paper, they're going to give you the original table, okay? But because we said we add the figures to come up with the total, okay? You tend to add those figures the way they appear in the table. For example, if I have 50, 80, 45, and 60, for me to come up with a cumulative table of that one, the first figure I'm going to plot is going to be 50, okay? But because we had to find a total of these ones, what is the total? 5, 10, 18, 23, 225, okay? No, 235. It means that when I plot 50, my next figure that I'm going to plot is not going to be 80. No, instead it is going to be 130. That is a cumulative table. So my next figure is 130. 130, if I had 45, I get 175. That is how you come up with a cumulative table, but we needed to do it on a board for you to see it. Unfortunately, I don't have a sample here. Okay?
So what you mean, in other words, the compound bar graph is used instead of the comparative bar graph in some cases?
Yes, in some questions, especially where they have not specified and they're saying draw a suitable diagram. Sometimes we say, I will draw what comes to my mind, but it has to be related to the question, like the one we have just seen. Someone who is saying, I'm drawing a comparative bar graph. She would be very okay and very right, okay? But because of a projected year, now that eliminates it out. Okay?
Okay.
Subi, there's Subi. Subi, unmute.
It like, okay, could you just explain like how you get, okay, how you use the comparative bar graph, like, sorry, the compound bar graph, like from the beginning, because this is like the first time I'm seeing it, so me, I don't really know exactly what to do.
Allow me to do this. Do we have a WhatsApp group? As senior force, as a Proscovia, do we have a WhatsApp group?
We have, but only Shakas was the one talking in the group. But I saw a link. He shared a link to, I think they should follow that link.
Because what I was going to suggest is that I'm going to do a write-up and teach the students how to to draw a compound bar graph, okay? Because it is a step by step. And I'll do an illustration for you from the cumulative table to the graph itself. Then I post it in your WhatsApp group for you to look at it. Is that okay?
Okay, madam.
I'm going to do that before the close of today, and I'll put it there. If I forget, Prescovia, please, on that group, talk to teacher Stephen, Mr. Kaziba, to remind me, okay?
Okay, madam. Madam,
Yes.
there is a question here in our chat. When joining the line graph, do we use a ruler or freehands?
When we're joining a line graph, you're supposed to use a ruler. Okay? It is only the other graph that we talked about climate, the combined band line graph. That is the only graph where for the line part, you use your free hand. But all the others, you're supposed to use a ruler. Okay? Can we move on? People still have their hands up. Nay.
Please, people, if you don't have a question, remove your hand up.
There is nay.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
About this compound graph. Seeing on the vertical axis, it's only one side that is labeled, so there is no need of us labeling the other side.
Oh, no, that one, please. Copy what is on the left side to the right side, okay? For all the graphs.
Okay, thank
Copy
you.
that information to the other side. Thank you. Milton.
Thank you, madam. I just wanted to I'm kindly requesting that you also elaborate more on how to plot a comparative line graph.
Comparative line graph.
Yes, how to plot it.
How do you plot it? After getting your scale, okay? It is consistent. Then, when you look at my years on the horizontal axis, everyone look at on the horizontal axis, the year has been written in between the point that has been marked off, okay? Not where the point is.
Yes.
I'm writing in between. So when it comes to plotting, plot in the middle of that, that centimeter, okay? You take the midpoint.
Yeah.
So when it comes to plotting your figures, you're going to plot them the way you do it for a simple line graph. That for example, look at the figures for Kampala. Plot for Kampala for all the years. Okay? You plot for Kampala for all its years. And after, get your ruler and join those points with a ruler. But when it gets from 2020, we say the line is going to be dotted up to get to 2026. Okay?
All right.
You do the same thing for Nairobi, join the line, but please remember to differentiate those lines, yeah? With color.
With a ruler, eh?
Yes, you join with a ruler.
All right, thank you, madam.
Welcome. Nay, is your hand still up?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
There is a question that do we have a comparative pie chart?
Yes, we do. What do you do if you have comparative pie charts? This one, you are going to compare. So you're going to draw two circles of the same radius. You draw two circles of the same radius, but you put in the different angles, the figures that have been given to you in the table. convert them to degrees and put the different angles. We are comparing different items for different years. So we shall be able to see that for this year, there was great performance in this item as compared to the following year. Okay? I don't want us to take you to proportional circles because there are also proportional circles where the radius is going to differ. But S4, we normally use the comparative circles where we have the same radius. And therefore, for that one, you determine it, okay? Whether use 4, 3, 5, but they should fit on the same page. Those two circles should be put on the same page so that we can clearly compare them. More hands are coming up. Yes, Nay.
That when they ask for a graph, you only do the graph, you do a pie chart. So are there times when they are going to tell you draw a pie chart specifically?
When they tell you to draw a chart, in most cases, they're looking at a pie chart, okay? But when you go into your dictionary, you find that a chart can also be a graph.
Okay.
But when they tell us to draw a graph, we cannot draw a pie chart.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam, Shama's hand has been there for a while.
Who?
Shama.
Shama, I'm not even seeing it, but please give the person unmute them and they ask. Is he there?
I'm trying to see.
Because me, I can see Maria, Daisy, Marinette, and Nyanzi. Those are the ones I'm seeing only. Shama, eh?
Yes, I think Shama.
Okay. Shama, you are unmuted.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
So for me, I'm asking like on your comparative, I'm not understanding the why you use
Why is it?
Why you use the blue ink?
I'm what? I'm losing you at the end, yeah? I cannot stop at why.
Okay, like your comparative line graph between Nairobi and Kampala. Yes, that's why you're using this. Yeah.
Oh, that one I said I'd made a mistake, but because I used a pen, yeah, I couldn't rub it, and I actually tried to put the zigzag line to say that it's not part of it. So that section is actually not part of it, this one here.
Yes.
It continues this side. Carly, sorry about that. Aha. Okay, so do we go on to another thing? I wanted us to...
In the chat whether we should go on another thing or...
Of the what? Proscovia, I missed your question.
No, I'm just telling them to use a chat to tell us whether we go on.
Oh, okay. Now, as they're still thinking about it, someone said I should hint on drawing a population pyramid. Unfortunately, I don't know why I forgot to have a sample of a population pyramid, but when you draw a population pyramid, you're going to draw a population pyramid if you're given a table that has the sex and age groups, okay? Sex, I'm talking about female and male. They give you a table that has female, male, and then they have the different age groups, okay? That is when you draw a population pyramid. And briefly, Proscovia, is it possible for you
Yes,
to...
please, madam.
There's this other part of the screen. Are you seeing it?
Yes, I'm seeing it. It has a bar graph showing the eliminate. It is eliminated.
On the left side of that graph paper or the bar
Yeah.
graph. This
Yeah,
blank,
I'm seeing that.
can we use it to draw something? It's not part of the screen, actually.
I've seen it in black.
Yes, in black. Can you get
I've seen
the pens? Thank you, Prosper. So Prosper, draw for me 2 vertical lines, but in between leave a space of just 1 centimeter. 2 vertical lines, 1 and then 2. Prosper. Okay, who else can help us to draw? Prosper's shied away. Daisy, you has, Apollo, yours is straight. People, can I have only one person drawing? Let me use Apollo for now. So the rest of us, please clear your, whatever you have put there. When I say clear, and then who is this one? Magezi, what are you writing? Proscovia, your people are writing on my screen. Okay. Magezi, please stop it.
These people who are writing on the screen.
Magezi, stop it. Okay. So I'm saying that just follow my cursor, okay? You draw 2 straight lines, okay? 1 and then 2. In between those 2 vertical lines is where you're going to write the different age groups, okay? Okay, so we're saying in between here is where you keep on writing the different age groups, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, till you get to the last one that has been given to you in the table. In most cases, we use an interval of 5, okay? Then, I'm also trying to see if I can get that pencil. You are going to draw now, below these lines, you draw another. Where did it go? My color is very faint, okay? But we are saying that you draw another, not vertical line, the horizontal line, okay? Somehow, how is that one putting there, the green one? You draw this other horizontal line. On the left side, we are supposed to have the male, the sex for boys, okay? On the right side is where you have females. I hope we are taking note. Then here on this vertical line, the first one, it should have 0 on the horizontal line, and you come up with your scale depending on the figures. Usually we give you the figures in percentage form so that you have small figures of 10, 7, 11, etc. Please, without my permission, don't write anything on the screen, yeah? This one here. So we are saying that you come up with a scale where I'm saying 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. or 0, 1, 3, 4, depending on the scale that you're using. What you do on the right side is what you do on the left side, okay? Then you begin plotting by drawing horizontal bars. I'm also going to send you a sample, okay, of a population pyramid in your WhatsApp group. and you see it, but the age groups should be here in the middle. And this space should not be as wide as this one. No, the second line can be here, where the two figures can fit, okay? And these two lines should be drawn in the middle, okay? The two lines should be drawn in the middle of those, in the middle of the graph paper, so that you have equal side, this side, and then this other side, okay? But allow me to draw for you a sample of a population pyramid, and I also send it to your WhatsApp groups. Okay. Do you have another question?
Unfortunately, there's no any hand and there is no question in the chat.
Okay. Aha. I again want to share this one here. Because
There is
remember
one hand.
The hand is saying?
There's Patricia, madam.
Yes, Patricia.
Patricia.
Patricia?
Patricia, please unmute yourself. I've sent the...
Oh, thank you. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Patricia.
So, madam, as you're saying about the population pyramid, we all like, we only draw it when they're given us the gender.
Yes, when you draw a population pyramid, you draw a population pyramid if in the table they have given you age groups, they have given you the population for males and the population for females. If you have such a table, then know that you are required to draw a population pyramid. I don't remember a certain mock paper where they gave us the age groups and they gave us the population of Uganda of those different age groups and the population of China of those different age groups. I think that was the Namirembe mock. For who did the Namirembe mock or here? They in a certain number, we had population for Uganda in the different age groups and population for China in the different age groups. And some people decided to draw a population pyramid. But when you look at that table, you'd find that the sex was not there. They didn't give us the population for the males and population for the females. Then that one requires you to draw a comparative bar graph instead of drawing a population pyramid. Because now we have two countries. A population pyramid cannot have two countries. It only has one country and the population for the females and then the males and their age groups.
Okay.
So with that one, we're supposed to have drawn a comparative bar graph where we are showing maybe the age groups for Uganda and the age groups for China.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Like, there is also, is it a shoe? Yeah, joint mock. So for the, they gave the population, yeah, then they gave the gender for male and female, then they gave that total, but without the age groups. However,
they gave gender for females and
they
males,
gave
but they didn't give us
the age group.
They didn't give us the age group. So because the age groups are also not there, then I cannot still draw a population pyramid. Instead, I would also be required to draw a comparative one. So that each group has female and males for the different years.
Yeah. In conclusion, you only draw it when they are both I've given you both the gender and age groups.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not seeing this person, but what I know is that I've unmuted you.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Madam, taking you the pie chart. So when you're doing the comparative pie chart, like the title, because there are two pie charts that you're drawing, but
The
then
two pie charts on the same page, they should have one title.
yes,
And
one
the title
but
should be saying a comparative pie charts showing ABCD, whatever it is showing us.
comparative pie chart. So you say comparative pie charts.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, madam.
But also again, on the comparative pie charts, the first one that you're going to draw, the way the angles appear according to the different item inside, okay? The shading you're going to give your first angle should be the same shading you're giving the first angle in your second chart. And it should be that same item. For example, what I'm saying, if you have, for example, crops, okay? And you have maize, beans, sorghum, and probably tea, okay? In your first pie chart that you are drawing, the order of those items is maize, beans, sorghum, and tea. That same order, you maintain it for the second one. Don't change it,
Madam.
okay?
Yes. Then also the other thing on the line graph, what if I don't use the different pens and then I just design the lines?
It's okay. Very okay.
Okay.
Okay, who is this one now? There's someone else.
Madam, I wanted to ask that, what about us who are not in the group? How are you going to access the work that you want to send us?
Hey, how are you going to access the work? Can I say that my number is, do you have where to write it?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, you write my number, then you send to my inbox. I'll send you, you send me a message to my inbox, then I'll send the work.
Okay, madam.
0774 37 85 84.
84.
Yes.
Okay,
Only
thank you, madam.
Asking for work. Okay, don't ask for other things. Don't take me about good night.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Pascovia, who is this mad person who has that entire screen?
I'm trying to check and I see. Let me clear it.
Have you seen that person?
Madam, they're requesting to repeat that number, but Patricia shared the link in the chat.
People get to that link to join the WhatsApp group.
Please, that one on who is on the screen, please, may you stop that?
So we are saying that those who want to, my number again, it is 0774 37 85 84. And please don't call me. Just send me to my inbox, hi, in WhatsApp, then I'll know what you want, okay? Thank you. Any other questions for me? I was looking at task B. Task B, we have not looked at task B, where we're saying, explain the challenges of such a drift on the area of origin and area of destination. Explain the challenges of such a drift on the area of origin and area of destination. Remember, just to remind you, it was to do with rural-urban drift, okay? So area of origin is the rural area, and then area of destination is the urban area. And they're asking for challenges that these people are most likely to face. When you look at it, it's just one question, but it has two in one. So I expect a student to give us challenges of the rural areas that they're going to experience when these people leave. And then what about the challenges in the urban areas people will experience, most of those that have migrated to those areas, okay? So it's not a one-sided question. When you give me only for one side, then you cannot score all the marks. I would need to have points for areas of origin, and then also have points for areas of destination. Do I have some people putting up their hands? Yes, Christine. Kristen, unmute and ask. Gavin? Gavania?
When we are drawn, do we start with the biggest or the smallest?
When you're doing what? The pie chart, yeah?
Yes.
Either way can work, either from the biggest to the smallest or smallest to the biggest. You decide on which one to use, but the easier one is using biggest to smallest.
Okay. Madam, what about the
what? The key. Yes, you have to drop the key, and the way the angles have appeared in the pie chart is the way they should appear in the key.
Of that one, for is it a comparative? We use to mean two keys. We include two keys.
You choose one, because we said you're going for item, for example, if it's beans, okay? You have beans in the first chart and beans in the second chart. The shading you use for beans in the first chart is the same you use in the second. And therefore you have the same shading and one key.
Okay, thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Kale, Proscovia, I beg that we end here for today, unless if there are questions.
There is one hand only.
Give her permission.
Marinette.
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 Yes. Is she with us?
Marinette, are you with us? Maybe
she must have forgotten.
Yeah. There is a Mary, there is a Raz and Chiza. Let me first unmute Mary. Mary. I don't know why they are not unmute.
Madam.
Proscovia?
Yes, teacher.
Are these people there asking questions?
Yeah, there is Mary.
Madam.
Yes, yes.
Madam, I'm requesting that just for the map work, there is a question about describing climate on a map.
Can I hand the map work next week?
Okay.
I'm going to hand the map work next week. I'll tell teacher to organize for me a session, okay?
Okay, but some of us shall be home, but shall be at school.
At school? When are you going to school? Is it Sunday? Are we still around?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it on Sunday.
Okay.
Nyanzi, yes? Nyanzi, yes?
Okay, madam, thanks a lot for the facilitation. I'm so green about this map work. I'm trying to, graph work. I'm trying to just catch up. I request that if it is possible, kindly, if you could arrange for us some notes for concerning about map work. Graph work, all those charts and graphs. It will be so helpful.
Kali, I'm going to do that, and we shall send them to your WhatsApp groups, okay? I hope we are all in the WhatsApp group. Then we have Noet.
Thank you, madam. And this thing confuses me. This issue of, let me say a number like 1, 2, 5, 5, so like it's not a very stable number like 500 or 300 or something like that. And then you have to put it on the graph, and then the scale of use is not quite convenient. How do you do it? Like, how do you put it?
I'm losing you.
What?
You are so low.
Your voice. We are not getting you.
Okay, I'm like this thing when you have like a number, you have to plot a number on a graph, but then the scale of use is not quite convenient. Like, let me say you've used a scale of 500, but then your number is like like
830.
It cannot fit in the thing well. How do you plot such numbers?
We usually go an extra mile to find what that small unit, that smallest square, what it represents. My scale is 500. That means each smallest unit is representing 100. Okay? So if it is representing 100, then that means I would have to, if for example I have 180, then I would know it's somewhere in the middle towards the end. So when I'm plotting, I'm a bit careful.
Okay. Madam, please send us notes also to the group.
Okay, sorry. Victoria.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
My question was about the graph. There are some times where it's okay in the middle. Are you allowed to estimate?
Sometimes you are forced to. If, for example, I have a figure that is saying 22, even if I've used a scale of 100 or 50, the 22 I might have to estimate, but I should be close to the actual figure, okay?
Oh, plus, when I'm joining the line graph, should I use free hands or should I use a ruler?
We said for the line graph, you use a ruler.
Oh, okay. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. And the last one is Mike. Mike, yes. We have lost him. Okay. So I think we can end our session here today. Proscovia, you want to give us a closing prayer?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Let us humble ourselves for our prayer. Dear loving Father, we thank you for this session. We thank you for guiding us in the whole lesson. We thank you for the opportunity you've given to us to have good teachers to teach us the things we didn't even know about. Dear loving Father, we pray that you help us to pursue the goals of getting A's in each and every subject. You help us to remember each and everything our teachers have taught us, to apply them. In Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending the lesson. And I want to wish you the best of luck come end of year as you're doing your UNEB exams. Please.
Thank you, madam, for your lesson, for your service.
What amazing.
Oh God. I'm a host. You guys, unmute and speak. Wait. Hello. Hi, people. Hey, person.
Hello.
Hi.
Guys, what
School
is
is
fox in Luganda?
yes.
What is fox in Luganda?
What?
What is fox in Luganda? Like fox, the animal.
The animals, fox.
Guys, the group is not
In
working well.
Luganda.
Even me, you don't know.
Name.
What's that? Embargo.
Mugane mubisuleyo kasasiro.
They call it embargo. Have you understood?
I've understood.
Yeah. That's bad. Which school is this?
Two different things.
Eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, members, answer me.
They're
They're all
different
from different
schools.
schools.
Yes?
They're all from different schools.
All of you are from different schools.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm lost. I was lost.
You are not lost.
Me too.
Okay. Because I'm speaking to different people. I don't know their names.
Their
I'm
names.
just, yeah.
Hi, Redeemer.
Hello, Patricia.
Hope you're well.
I hope
Where
you're
are the
also
boys? Where are
fine.
the boys?
We are here.
Oh.
Is Caspri around?
Yes?
Is Caspri in class right now?
No, I don't.
Some people at school.
Hi, Gavanya.
Yes?
Gavanya. Okay, you guys, should I ending? Or someone has?
You guys missing.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah, off.
yeah.
We are still on.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Marinette. Oh, Hadia. Hope this recording was ended. Oh God, no.